Welcome to the Business of Soul Searching. My name is Erin, and I invite you to join me as I travel the world challenging risk takers who have soul searched and came out on the other side to tell us their incredible stories. Are you ready for this? This is Erin from the Business of Soul Searching, and I am here with a few people from SparkUp PVD podcast, one of my favorite podcasts. If you haven't heard of it, they interview unsung heroes in the community and just spark up intelligent conversation with them. And they also review pop culture. So it's if you haven't heard of it, make sure you check them out. This is the Thanksgiving episode. So why don't you all introduce yourself and tell me what your plans are this week?
Hi, my name is Regina, and there's a lot going on with the cooking and the chopping around. But then there's still classes all the way until Wednesday, so I'll be pretty busy and also working.
I forgot about school.
Right?
I left school
I
for
wish I could forget
podcasting.
about school, to be honest,
Yep,
but
yep, yep.
there's that. So, yeah, we're literally in school until Wednesday, but
Okay.
that's really it. A lot of shopping. You would think getting it done like today or tomorrow is early, but people like start
they're
Thanksgiving
there.
shopping for like a month in
Yeah.
advance. Like my manager was like, "Oh yeah, I got the turkey and everything like
Like in
the
the
end
put
of
it in the freezer.
October, yeah, and everything." And I'm like, "Oh wow, so I'm not really early. I'm actually late." But there's
It's
that.
true. Got it. Okay.
And I'm Christina, and about the same plans, getting ready for Thanksgiving. My mom does all the cooking. I don't cook,
Okay.
but I do help her prep and getting outfits together, making sure that everything is right and tight at school. So when you come back, we only have like 3 weeks left of the semester. I'm so excited. I'm ready for the end of the semester. I'm ready for the end of the year. I'm ready for a new year. So everything I feel like that we're doing now is just getting ready for the holidays, but also still trying to stay on your P's and Q's.
Yeah. It's not over yet. I
Yeah,
think
it's
is kinda
not
what you're
over yet.
saying,
It feels like
finish
it's
strong.
over. Finish strong and just enjoy. Also, try to enjoy being the moment.
And I am Ruben, known as Rubanz.
Who calls you Rubanz?
Yes.
Everybody does. All the people.
Yeah.
Or
Yep.
for short, you could do bands.
Yep. You're so funny.
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. Can't wait. I'm gonna be sparking up some yaroa. This is a Dominican
that?
dish. It's actually poor people's food.
Okay.
What's in it?
Fries, chicken.
Okay.
Cheese.
Can I get a plate?
Sure, come through.
Okay.
Everybody's welcomed. And I will be doing a rice pudding
Okay.
for Thanksgiving, so that should be fun.
What
Get
is
my
it?
hands dirty.
You guys have the rum chata I had one time. Are you gonna have rum chata? Is that Thanksgiving or is
I
that
don't know
Christmas?
what that is. Is that a?
I thought it was.
It could. Well, we're Dominican, so it could be a
It's
different.
like a specific.
It could be
Okay,
Puerto
okay.
Rican or.
Puerto Rico. No,
Yeah.
I don't think it's.
I mean,
maybe
people
Central
have it, but like
American.
it's certain. Okay.
Or maybe
Maybe.
we call it something different.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because some things like in the Spanish culture might be the same thing, but different name.
Got it.
You know what I mean? So
No, it's like. Well, anyways, we don't have to talk about alcohol on this podcast. We'll talk later. Yeah. So I bring it up because I'm like all stressed out. I'm having my first Thanksgiving at my house.
nice.
So I'm like, my mom from the past couple weeks is like, okay, so like, what's the menu and who's cooking, and make sure you send out the menu to everyone. So I'm like dreading Thanksgiving because I'm just really stressed about it. I'm like stressed out, but trying to focus on like just whatever I can be grateful for and just focusing on things. But she's like dropping stuff off at my house when I'm not there, like platters, and I'm like, Mom, like I just want to not, but it's fine.
That's interesting.
Yeah, she's super. She does that at her house, but it's different when it's your, like, you know what I'm saying? It's different. At her house, I'd be like, oh, yeah. I tell my husband, I'm like, she's going to be crazy. It's going to take, she's going to harass us every day with texts about, Thanksgiving. But it's different when it's your house because then it's kind of like, all right, everything needs to be clean. Everything needs to be perfect. Like my mom's coming. Like, it's a whole different type of clean. Like everything needs to be spotless. But we'll work it out. It's fine. We'll have good food and stuff. So for people that haven't heard of SparkUp PVD, if they're outside of Rhode Island, how did your group come together?
We wanna answer how we all came together from our own perspectives. I think that would be easier.
Yep.
So I'll start first. I came to the idea to Ruben, who's my cousin, and we were at, you said a barbecue? I don't remember us being at a barbecue.
Where were we at?
But
It was a birthday party.
mm,
Angel's
was
birthday
it?
party.
Okay. All right, so we were at a
Okay.
July.
We don't even.
No, it was like June 26th.
It was January.
No,
You're so
It
funny.
was in June.
I can't.
Oh, Big Angel. Okay.
Big Angel.
So we were at a family
So clearly we're
cookout.
cousins.
And
Yep.
we were at a family cookout, and I was talking to him about this podcast and like all my ideas, and he's like, "That's dope. So why don't you do it?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he was like, "Let's do it." I was like, "All right."
Someone
then.
has to be that just
The
do
heads
it
in the
person to
clouds.
get it started, right?
Yes, that's
Yep,
Rubanz all the way. He's the let's do it without thinking how, and then that's where the rest of us come in.
Got it.
We love your positivity, but also like realistically speaking, how are we gonna execute it? And then from your perspective,
Same deal. Just that we was deep in a conversation about music, and she goes, "I wanted to start a podcast." I'm like, "Why haven't you started one?
Yeah.
What are you waiting for? Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it popping. Let's get it on and going."
Yep.
You know, and it's just like, I feel there's some people that have talent that, outshine their talent by saying, "Oh, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week."
Or you compare yourself to someone that's already doing it,
Exactly.
and it's like, oh, I can't get there.
Let's do it now. Let's go. Like, don't worry about how you're gonna get there. It's about doing it.
Yeah. And for people that are listening, that are interested in starting an idea or building a team, it is important to have different types of people on your team because, like, you're going to have a weakness of some sort, or you're just not going to be, I don't know. Like, there's going to be something that someone else brings to the table and you'll need them. You can't do, So it's good to have, like, different people just to give you ideas and stuff.
I was forced to be here, and
She's not lying.
I'm really not. And I say that all the time because when people are like, "How did this start?" I'm like, I literally was forced to be. But no, it's funny because Christina and I, we know each other through like a mutual. Well, her cousin was my roommate in college, and so she literally just texted me one day. Was like, "Oh, I'm starting a podcast, and I really would like you to be a part of it." And I was like, "Are you kidding?" But like not, and I'm like, "Oh, are you kidding? Like, are you kidding?"
Yeah.
Me, like,
Me.
who wants to listen to me talk?
I
about
do.
nothing.
I'm like, you were built for radio. I think all of you guys are, but
And
still,
I
definitely.
was like, yeah, no. But she was like, oh, meet with us. Like, we'll talk about it. And I wasn't very into it at first because it's not that I didn't believe in the vision. I thought they had a great thing going, but I'm just like, who wants to listen to me?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm not for this. Like,
Yep.
I'm just like, I say things, people laugh.
Yeah.
But it's not a thing. Like,
not
it's
a
not
thing that
something
I
that I
can
want to
market.
say on a mic. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
She's really funny.
She really is.
But
Like,
we've definitely
yep.
become a collaborative. Now we basically just have melted together, it almost feels like, after this whole year of us putting up with one another, especially Rubanz, who thinks this
Oh
is
my
the
goodness.
Rubanz
I don't know how.
featuring SparkUp PVD.
Yes.
Nah,
It's
not
been
even.
quite a
Let's-
journey.
Let's stop that.
Yep. No, so and that was my next question is just like how do you balance like different personalities? Because I'm by myself, so I just do what I want to do on whatever day of the month. But like for you all, you constantly have to make sure things make sense for the episode.
We pretty much fight all the time.
Just get it out.
Yeah, we literally do. We like fight all the time. This is exactly how it goes. We come for a meeting. Rubanz is like, let's take a wagon to the moon. And then, but doesn't say anything after that. Boom, done. And then Christina's like, we can't do that. How do you expect us to do that?
Yeah.
We
Where'd
need
you
to
get the
figure out
truck from?
Where is the plan? We can't afford a wagon.
Okay.
But we're going to make this happen. And then Rob, who is like the podcast dad, is like, you guys are going to start bickering right now. And we're going to figure out how
That's
this
cool.
is going to
We
go.
love him.
Okay? Ruben, you talk. Now be quiet. Christina, you talk. And then I'm just
Nice.
there as the comedic relief.
Okay.
So when everything
Sure
gets really
is.
stiff, I'm like, doo-doo.
Yep.
And then
She's
that's
the funny
basically how our meetings go.
Regina likes to act like she's the comedic
I'm
relief,
done.
but
does
she's
that mean?
actually a genius, and like
Okay.
she's very intelligent. And I think where we lack, she picks up. Like sometimes we like to get ratchet and we like to get fun, and like that's fun, but like then she like comes in like with her like very eloquent opinion, and we're like, oh,
insightful.
yeah, this is real. This is,
Yep.
we're here, we're now, and this is not a joke.
Yeah.
So she's not only the comedic relief.
I mean, yeah, but I'm saying that's how our meetings go.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
always fighting. So this is how this works. But we love each other and we're like genuinely friends. So we always know like, and we all want to see SparkUp PVD grow. So
course.
we always come to a conclusion that works for all of us. And like, Rob's not here, but we speak so highly of him because he literally is the podcast dad. Like, me and Christina will have side conversations during the podcast, and he'll be like, "Hey, cut it out. We're not doing that next week." And we're like, "Well, damn." I'm like, all right. I
Like-
guess we're not doing that next week. So that's basically how we work things out, in my perspective.
Well, and it sounds like you're all upfront with each other. Like you're straightforward with this works, this doesn't work. How do we get from point A to point B?
I think the hardest part is that we know each other personally, and doing business with people you know personally gets
point.
sticky. Like, if I feel some way about Regina, about the podcast, like Regina, I feel like Regina's not into it. I don't know what to do, but I'm texting her and we're having like the best conversation. Like, I love her as a person, but then to be with someone when it comes to like business and like, what we're doing, it's different because it's different sides of you.
Absolutely.
So who I am in the meeting is not literally who I am as a person, because it's this vision and we're like trying to get it right and trying to do it right. But like, also, what's for dinner? Like, what are we doing after? Like, what's popping this weekend?
Yep.
So it's kind of hard to keep the balance, but at the end of the day, it works. And like you said, where I lack, or where Ruben lacks, or where Regina lacks, Rob will pick up.
Yep.
Or where I can pick up is where Regina will lack, or where, and vice versa. So, dealing with different personalities is a challenge. But I think that, especially speaking for myself, it's helped me grow as a person, because I came into this, set in my ways, and these three people have like, no, you can't do that, or not literally saying that, but like, I feel that. And like, so I've learned to talk better and how to bring ideas to people and not feel like I'm forcing my ideas onto you, but like, just opening up the conversation of what can we do, not what can I do, and how can you guys be a part of it,
Wow.
So just helping people, just help each other.
Yeah.
I guess.
And that's going to help you all in the future for companies, because you need to hire, you're going to need to manage. And so that's awesome. What were you going to say?
I mean, I can't put it any
She
better
said
than
it, yeah.
She said it, but basically that we work off each other and we work pretty well. Like, we do argue. Everybody argues, but when we come together, it all falls into place. You know what I mean?
And you can hear it for folks. I really, really urge my listeners, please go over and check out Spark Up PVD, because it's harmony. Like, I listen to it and I'm like, wow. Because I think of just like the different personalities, like, and it just flows. Like, you all, I guess, because you know each other outside of here, like before. It's not like you just met, but still, it works.
Except for one episode. What episode? I don't know if you guys remember.
Nah.
We were low key beefing, but like we were like beefing.
Yep.
It was
She's
funny.
like, no, it was high key.
But it was fun. It's
Yeah,
you
it
know,
was
at the end
fun.
of the day,
It was fun. We enjoy ourselves,
Episode though.
Oh, really?
We were
I'm
like
gonna have to check
coming
that
at
out,
each other's
though.
necks
I'm gonna have
on
to
the
check that
episode.
out.
Like, we were not friends that episode.
I have to check it out. Don't tell me the number. I'll look for it, because now I'm curious.
I think the best part is at the end of the day just respecting each other. Like, respecting like that, you have other things going on in life besides this. Like, SparkUp PVD is what we are, but it's not all we do. It's not who we are.
Yep.
It's what we are
True.
together. Like, we make up SparkUp PVD is nothing without Regina. It's nothing without Rob. It's nothing without bands. It's nothing without me. We make that, not to force anyone into feeling like you have to be a
stay.
part of it, but it's what we started with, so it's all we know.
Yep. And I was gonna say, like, because I sometimes think of the idea, like, if I were to bring someone on board to my podcast or just change it, like, sometimes you just think like, hey, I might want to pivot next year or something, like, and change. What are things for people that maybe want to add to their team? What are things that you've learned that's like, how do I say this? If you're selecting people to be on your team, what are qualities that they should have?
I'll answer that. Communication's everything. If you can't communicate with somebody, it's not worth it. Just because it'll go off the board. You know what I mean? You want to keep on board. You know what I mean? And by having somebody you can't communicate with, it just makes it that much difficult.
True.
To work with that person. So it doesn't work. You need communication and honesty.
Open, like
Yes.
to feel comfortable. Like I can tell them, and they're not gonna like take it.
Right.
What are you gonna say?
I listened to your podcast. It's fabulous. You're very headstrong, and I can just I receive that just through listening to it.
Oh my gosh, I'm
I think for you, if you were gonna have somebody on your podcast and switch it up, I think it's really important that they see your vision.
Yep.
Because not sometimes, all the time, you'll already have a vision and you're like, oh, I want to change. I want to change up. I want to bring somebody in. But they might have their own agenda.
True.
And the communication part is important, but you won't even get there if they don't share the same vision.
True.
Like if they don't believe in it the way you believe in it, if they're not hungry like you, then it takes away from it completely. Like you're better off by yourself at that point.
Yeah. It's like, that's what I'm saying. And it's so, radio is so meticulous. Like you can hear if something isn't right. Like you can hear if like it's the wrong, even just who you interview, if the energy's not right, like you can just hear, or for me, maybe I can hear it with radio. You all probably can too. But yeah, that's why I flirt with the idea, but we'll see.
Is that what you want to do? Have you been thinking about bringing somebody else in on this?
Maybe, but we'll see. I like being by myself. I like having control just in general. Like that's why I'm switching out of 9 to 5 land, because I can't deal with you were a minute late anymore. And it's just, I'm like, and then, so I'm really liking the control, timing, and just creative like control I have. So we'll see. But if I meet that person, we'll see. But like you said, like they have to be, if they're more about money than advocacy, I'm big with advocacy. That's important to me. People matter to me. Like getting people's stories out there is important. Yes, like I need to make money to pay bills, but at the same time, if they're completely into money and they don't care who we're interviewing, that's not going to work for me. Like the message is that's important.
Yeah,
but
sometimes money isn't everything. You know what I mean? You have to have a relationship before money.
Yeah.
And you gotta, because some people get very greedy with money once they start getting it.
It's
So
addicting. Like it can be.
Exactly. So you gotta, like Regina said, make sure you know their agenda.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid, like, if you bring somebody on and it's not working out, just be like, okay, bye. Like, I'm done with this. Like, you're great. And
thanks for your 2 minutes.
Yeah, thanks for your time, but I'm not really feeling it. Because it's your, this
True.
is your thing.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that you're being controlling, but are you going to watch it, crash and burn in flames? Or are you going to cut the cancer out and move forward? Like, if you bring somebody on, I actually don't like this in 2 months. Okay, bye.
Yep.
I'm going back to the old way. If it wasn't broke, so I'm not fixing it no more.
And I'm surprised at myself. Like I've already fired people from that working, helping me with my podcast and stuff. Like I'm surprised how as a woman I've been able to step up and be like, no. Like how we were just talking about the door. I was like, I gave Johnny that look. It needs to be quiet. And it's just, as a woman, I like how I'm able to delegate. Like I didn't realize I had that. Like to be able to be like, hey, it's not working out, and not get in your feelings and be like, oh, what are they going to say? It's like,
you just can't do it.
Like, this is too important.
We're already at the bottom of the totem pole. We're black and we're women.
Yep.
People are always going to look at us like we're little. People are always going to look at us like our opinions don't matter. So, and then when you step up, you're like a vicious animal.
Diva. Yeah.
And you're being all, super diva, but you're also an entrepreneur just like any man and just like anybody. So if there are things that you are particular about that's not working for you, it's your business. And you have the right to put your foot down and say, this is not working for me.
Yeah.
Especially when you bring, let's say you want to bring a guy on. He can't help but to want to take over things because that is the way society has conditioned men to behave. So it's kind of like you have to be very particular. If you know it works for you, just you.
That's what I've been doing.
You want to bring somebody on, they have to know, this is my business. You're coming in on it as a team member, not as a CEO.
Yeah.
And they'll be okay with that.
I'll call you. I'll be like, okay, hold on. I need to get my hype woman because...
Oh, call me, girl. I will be on speaker excuse me, listen, co-star, you need to get in line.
You do. No, it's true, though. That is true. Because it just takes one person or, one detail to just take it in a completely different direction, so... Were you gonna say something?
Nah, I'm just
She summed
so
it up.
happy that
You're blessed to have
she's,
these women that
and
are
I'm very
strong,
grateful for
intelligent.
that. I may not express it, but
No, he doesn't. He
I'm.
tells us we're wrong all the time,
I'm
especially
like,
about Missy Elliott.
I
Let's
know,
not.
and I've
You
listened to
Let's
a
see,
couple
not forget.
episodes. Okay.
you see, like I like to, you know,
Mm.
be the devil's advocate. I like to,
I be telling you,
To
the
stir the
test.
devil
pot.
don't
I
need no
like to
more
test.
advocates.
Yeah, it's true. I
The
know.
devil is fine.
You're at a
He's
limit.
good.
But you need that. Like you need that person that's gonna question something just because you don't like if I tell you, for example, the book is green and that's all you know, you're gonna be like, oh, it's really green.
Yep.
Now, if I challenge that and I say maybe it's blue,
Mm-hmm.
it might be a little turquoise
Or
blue,
some
but it's
people,
blue.
yeah, yep.
You know what I mean? So
And there might be a listener thinking what you're saying, like a different. So it's like, oh, cool, like they mentioned it. That's what I was thinking.
it's like I like to say, every set of eyes is a different world.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Because you just see
true,
things differently.
true.
You know?
But yeah, you're definitely a shit stirrer. I will give you that. But it's good. But you have a good heart, and I appreciate that. That's the thing. Like, and that's what I like. The harmony of the show is just diverse and like, oh, I just love it. I love it.
Thank you.
A+. So, what podcast or radio show do you all liken yourself to, or do you feel like you
Mm,
are not?
Well, locally or
Both.
both. Locally, I really like the group chat locally.
Okay.
It's
Have to
four
check them
girls.
out.
They like to get ratchet on the show, but I loved it.
Okay.
It was chaos, but
So
I
what
loved
is
it.
what do you mean for my listeners that are like, what does get ratchet mean?
It would be people use the word urban or
Mm-hmm.
ghetto or something like that. In them terms, but I guess ratchet is a little
Yeah, I
less
wouldn't.
offensive.
But I mean,
Yeah.
like them specifically. What's examples that why you deem it as?
Yeah.
To me personally, ratchet means like no filter, wild, fun,
Mm.
personable.
Mm-hmm.
Because for a lot of people, it feels like home. And just like not caring what people say or what people think, just being you. And if that is ratchet, then so be it. Like loud and like inner city.
Mm-hmm.
Like to me, it felt like home listening to that podcast. Like it just felt like I was in a living room with all my girl cousins.
Yeah.
Like just talking reckless. That's a
Yeah.
good word, reckless.
Okay. Yep. What were you gonna say?
I live for the read.
The read.
I like to
I listen to that all the time when he was doing his YouTube channel actually and just doing Kid Fury was doing Furious
Fury.
Thoughts
Okay.
on YouTube, and this was years ago, and he was just going off, literally like smoking a
my
blunt, going off on whatever
Yo.
topic, and I lived for
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
when him and
Okay.
Crystal,
He would go
is it
ham.
Crystal?
Crystal.
Yeah,
Crystal, when
Crystal.
him and
Okay.
Crystal started doing the read, I was like, this is perfect. Like he found the perfect like yin to his yang, and they do so great. So I've been listening to
cool.
them for a while,
Okay.
and I think the word that you guys were looking for to substitute ratchet is eccentric, because ratchet has such a interesting correlation with it. Somebody used it at my job the other day, and I work with a whole bunch of white people. Shout out to white people. And somebody said it like, "Oh, that girl's nails was ratchet," and I was like, "No, don't do it.
Yeah.
Just say it was
Like,
just
put
say
that
it was a
back.
mess,
Sense.
or say something else, because now you're making it something that it's not. Like
That's
now
not what it's
ratchet
for.
is messy, and then messy is ghetto, and ghetto is black. So I was like, no, let's use something else.
Yeah. And like just to take a second with that, all the things that you were listing, I feel like if that person was a different race or nationality,
Would it be ratchet?
because if they were loud, you know what I mean? Like it's not
Yeah.
necessarily
Right.
a bad, thing. Like,
well,
but it's,
loud
it's
doesn't- I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, like, ratchet has now become, like you said, it's like bad and associated with, like,
Yeah.
but
When I think of loud, I don't think of like ghetto and like ghetto being negative. I think of loud like being energetic and full of life.
Yep.
And like when I think like if I think to my friends or be like, hey, let's have a ratchet night tonight. To me, that's a blast. Like
See,
that
you
means
don't,
Yeah.
and we don't. But my coworker was white.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They're looking at it in a different
They
way
don't
completely.
even know
When
what
we're like,
they're-
it's ratchet, like we're looking at it differently. So I'm like, I just know who to say it around. I don't know. Like, I don't want them to take it the wrong way. Like, obviously, we love the group chat.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
listen to them as well. But, like, it's just the word ratchet. I just don't like that word.
The
There's just
negative
something about it
stigma.
that people can take it the wrong
True.
way.
True. No, you're
So
right, you're right.
I listen to Two Dope Queens. It's a podcast with two comedians, Jessica Williams and Phoebe Robinson, and they have opened up their podcast to people of color to do stand up, because stand up is a place where it's mostly been white. And so their podcast has stand up, but they also do like an introduction where they're just being funny and being themselves, and they're friends. So it brings that dynamic of where you feel like it's like you're there and you know them personally, and
Yeah.
it reminds me of us, where we can get carried away, but then we're like, okay, our topic.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
so I like that they're fun, but they have a greater purpose.
Did they just do like a live?
Yes,
I might have seen.
I was there
Did
for
you
my
share it?
birthday.
Oh, okay. I was like, it came up on my timeline. I don't know how,
They
but
had an HBO special.
cool. It looks
Yeah.
funny, actually.
It is really funny.
Okay.
They're
I'll have to
hilarious.
check them out. So what about like? Oh, you said yours. What?
Well, the one I
That you-
religiously listen to. Well, other than Everyday Struggle, because,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't consider that. I look at it as a TV show.
Okay.
Brilliant Idiots, Charlemagne the God and Andrew Schultz. I think they're the yin and the yang.
Interesting.
Like, they argue, they come to a point, and sometimes they're funny as hell. You know, and I enjoy the conversations they have. Those are conversations that I usually have with my boys, or even on the podcast. We have some conversations like that sometimes, and it's like I really like to sit there and listen to them. You know, so
And I
pretty-
Oh, sorry, I cut you off.
pretty much that. You know, I don't think I listen to any other one. Yeah, that's about it.
Cool. I was thinking, like, not to get too far off topic, but what were of the seasons that you've had so far? What's your favorite topic to discuss? What was
Don't
the
say
most
seasons
juicy?
because bands will
Yeah,
die.
true.
He hates when we
I
call it
don't
seasons.
I don't like calling seasons.
Oh yeah,
I like going
episode
by
because you
episodes.
guys do long. Yeah. Okay,
like,
okay,
you know
yeah.
what I mean, I like going by episodes,
Kind of like
Yeah,
to
we-
group it. Yeah.
but I dislike that. But yeah, well, my favorite episode would have to be.
Or topic.
I'm gonna say, damn, that's a good ass question.
I know that wasn't in the notes, but I'm like, I want to know.
That is a really good
I'm
question.
curious because you guys be
What
talking
is
about
my
all the
favorite
stuff that I want to hear
episode?
about.
I think Cuffing Season has to be one of them.
Okay.
And that's one of the earlier episodes, you know. So I think we've grown so much more after that. But you could just like it was a fun time.
How come?
How come?
I'm trying to get people to you.
That's a good question. The convo was good. You know what I mean. The topic was very like you know what I mean. It was fluent. Like and these are things that we talk amongst each other. You know what I mean. Like, oh, it's cuffing season. You got to find your cuffing partner. And we literally did research and broke it down
Ooh,
how
I need to
cuffing
get that one
season
too.
is. So, you know, it was a fun time.
Yep. You too.
My favorite topic from all the episodes would have, I don't know, I kind of like them all. I try to stay, I think my least would be politics, because I feel like it's such a heavy topic and such a sensitive topic, and it takes like profound research.
Yeah.
And the opposite of that, I think, would have to be something fun. I think when we talk about relationships, I think that's the best one, because it brings out a different side of all of us. Like, and it's unpredictable. And it's things that we can talk about from real life experience versus stuff we have to get, like fact-based things.
True.
Which is something that I think, that comes with growth, with being factual. So I think when we talk about stuff that's opinion-based, those are my favorite topics.
Yeah.
Because it's stuff that comes from the heart.
Which is why you get attracted to radio, because you want to speak on issues that's going on. So nice. Relationships is my favorite too. Because it's like, there's so many things wrapped up in it. Like, it's not even just being in a relationship. It's like body image. It's about like the perception of women, or at least from my standpoint, the perception of women of like, for example, there are people that will address me differently because I'm married, and they think that that's like, like I'm better than other people that aren't, and it's just, I don't know. Anyways, I don't want to go off on that, but we're gonna have to separately talk about that. It's true though. I see the difference. They're like, "Oh, you're married?" I'm like, "It's not a come up. Like, it's not anything. I'm
just
happy,
committed
but
to my
I'm
partner
just
for life.
yeah. Like, there's people that are unhappily married. Like, so it's not. But some people see it as, I will promote you versus someone. Like, statistically, people will promote someone that's married versus. I didn't know that. I had
Yeah, that's
And I'm happy for you. Not too
discriminatory.
many
Yes.
people find someone they're genuinely happy with. So I congratulate you on that.
Thank you. We work it out. It's like
how long have you guys been married?
a year. We've known each other. So
Congratulations.
2013, 4 years. I had to count on my fingers for listeners. So yeah, you work it out, but he empowers me to start my own business, and that was my thing. Like, before, when I was single, I didn't want to be with someone that was gonna be like, no, you have to do this. That's like, no. And he's always been down. He wants to do his own business, so we work it out. What were we gonna say?
Our International Women's Day episode was like up there for me only because I love talking about all things women.
Same.
And obviously, like when we talk about super pro women things, the men want to take the opposing side because they're men and they
have to be in every conversation.
They have that right to do all that.
You got to give us credit. We do side with Jules a lot.
You actually don't side with us ever, so there's that.
And you have to listen to the podcast to be the judge. So
Bands never sides with us ever. Don't let him sit here and sweet talk you guys. Hey, my name's Rubanz.
Yeah,
you know what it is.
We know him in real life.
No, if you listen, you'll see he never does. But again, it's healthy, well-rounded conversation, and I actually do really like when we talk about like politics. I know it is really heavy, and a lot of times we're just talking out of our asses, but
Yep.
I think it is important, even if we are, there's just a lot of people our age that are not, they don't want to be bothered with politics because they're like, oh, it's just too much to it. And that's the reason why we're at where we're at right now with politics.
Thank you for saying that. Yep.
Because nobody wants to be bothered with it. It's like we all want to be bothered with like talking about sex all day, relationships all day, talking about things that are just like important, but are they?
Yeah.
And now look at our political climate.
True.
Because we didn't want to be bothered with it. Now we got Trump as the president. What we going to do the next 3 years? Or now y'all don't want to be bothered with it. Now it's in your face.
True.
So I like talking about politics. We don't do it often because of the fact that we don't want to talk crazy. Like, we want to make sure we have our facts in.
Yep.
Shout out to Shanice because she be coming at our necks.
Yeah.
She's like our low-key undercover behind the scenes.
Awesome.
Like, she be letting us know, like, no, you guys are not about to go on there and talk crazy. So we always have to prepare to talk about politics or talk about anything that we really need facts. Like our latest episode, shout out to Cristina because she had all the facts. We were talking about
the Weinstein.
Yeah, Weinstein and the whole like.
Oh yes, yes. I've checked that out.
Basically, sex offenders.
Yep.
And she had like all the facts lined up, like history, years, the witnesses, and people that came forward and everything. And it was so great because we could like introduce that to our listeners that weren't aware, but then also give our opinions on it. So I like when we talk about things where our facts are right.
Yeah.
Because then we're also educating our listeners, and that's really important.
True.
I have one more. When we talked about beauty and confidence, we were talking about that episode today because I feel like beauty is so misconstrued as to what beauty has changed a lot over the years, and I feel like it just needs to stop changing and just like it's just deeper. It's so much deeper than face. And there was another episode that we talked about. We talked about like how we de-stress. That was the episode where Regina, I don't know if you were on there. I think it was just me, you, and Rob. And we talked about like what do we do to de-stress and how do we cope with stress. And I think that that's something that's very important because I feel like mental illness is a huge thing now with anxiety and like people depression. Like cyberbullying and depression. It's so dark. And I feel like people don't like to go into those dark places. Kind of like Regina said with politics, people don't like to go into that because of the emotions it brings
it
out of you
drains you.
personally. Yeah, it's draining, but it's important. So we need to talk about it.
And we
Agreed.
think mental health is a very serious thing. And a lot of people of color don't actually get that addressed.
Address it. Yeah.
They kind of just go about their way and just live with it forever.
Yeah.
And you know, just living under these conditions causes stress.
Definitely.
Just like multiple things that come your way when you don't address these things. You don't talk to somebody, and it's just morally is very important to speak on these things with somebody that you trust. You know?
And like, as you all maybe know, but I am a woman of color in the mental health field, and I do see people of color, and it's like a lot of times they'll be resistant because who's educated them before on what this is and why they should be taking all these different types of medication, and especially with something as serious as bipolar, it's like I never heard of that until I got into the field, to be honest with you. I didn't know what that was, what it looked like, why, you have to take medication, that it's chronic, it's for life. It doesn't clear up just because you're on your meds. So like, and I think kind of what you're saying is when it's not addressed, then it's like what happens with your children. You know what I mean? Like, and that even if it's not like genetically passed down, if it's this person was sexually assaulted when they were younger and then it's never
The
addressed.
trauma is passed down.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And they think that it's okay, and then so it's true. So I definitely encourage people, but it's good to have more people of color in the mental health field because they see me and they're like, okay,
You
like
can identify.
they're like, all right, I feel a little bit more comfortable, but there's only one of me, or the last program, there's only one black person in the entire program. So it's like, but yeah, I'm glad that it's becoming known now and people are coming out, celebrities are coming out and talking about it. And so that's definitely my
Can I ask
avenue.
you a question? How do you
Please.
feel about Tyrese? Being that you're in
Okay.
that field, like
This is going to be, no, okay. How do I feel about Tyrese? So, I actually was going to speak on it and then I didn't. But I will speak on the podcast about it. So I only know like a little bit of the situation. Generally, it sounds like he is going back and forth with his ex over their child in court, and so he had a mental breakdown. It's at least from the little bits. I feel that okay. I hope that I hope that his perspective has changed. Number one, from that issue. If anything comes from it, I hope that his perspective has changed. I don't like his opinions on women and dating. I loved him back in the day. I played his songs. I think that it's hard for me, at least, losing all these, like, with the whole Bill Cosby thing and everything, it's like we're losing our like childhood. I mean, these are people that I looked up to. I wanted to be in the Cosby family when I was growing up. I'm like, I want to be Rudy's sister. And like with Tyrese, so when they lash out, I feel, or like try to oppress women, or I feel oppressed, it's like a double slap in the face because I'm like, I bought your music, I supported you, like So that's my whole thing. I'm kind of caught because I'm like, I'll always empathize with people. It's stressful. Like it sucks that he went online and then everyone's laughing at him and making memes and stuff. But things happen for a reason. So I didn't join in on the laughing. So I don't know. Why do you ask? Like, what were you thinking? Like,
I just felt I should ask because you're in the mental
yeah.
industry, so I would like to know from your perspective, because I had jokes. I'm not gonna lie.
Everyone did.
I'm not gonna lie. I had jokes.
Yeah.
But then again, you get to that serious point where you're like, this man needs help. Because
Yeah.
I was joking about how he was recording himself crying, but every time he's like, with his fingers like peeked to see if he was recording himself.
Okay.
And I thought that was hilarious.
And you're just like, okay.
And then like his what do you want from me went viral.
Yeah, it did. That's
That
yeah.
went viral.
I didn't
So
even
I
get
mean,
to watch it yet, but I heard yeah.
they remixed it, they looped it, they did everything, like
I was
even like
sorry, it's
cut
just
it
the way
into
this.
like
Yeah.
movie scenes, and it's amazing what the internet is undefeated.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Internet is
There's
undefeated.
people are brilliant with this stuff. Like I can't.
Exactly.
I can't.
But then it got to the point that I was like, these celebrities that
Yeah.
are his friends,
Yeah.
they should be helping that
Mm-hmm.
man. You know, and it sucks that he's in a battle, in a custody battle for his kid. You know, it does suck.
True.
But you know, these aren't reasons to go online and showcase this. Now, like I look at it like this. Now your daughter is gonna have to live with that meme for the rest of
True.
her life.
True. True.
Your dad is the dad that was going crazy online. You know, so now it trickles down to her.
True.
You know, and that could just it's a domino effect. So
True.
you know what I
True.
mean. I feel like his people and the people around him should keep him off the internet.
Um. It's hard for me. So I have empathy for him. Of course, anyone going and people know that that could be you at like you could gain it
Anyway.
all and lose it all. So that's just the type of humble background my parents raised me with. Like that's I s- he's created this. I don't know. What do you two think? I'm trying to think of how I'm trying like.
I don't know. I feel like when I'm in pain or when I'm crying or when like I think of like when I lost my grandfather, the last thing I did was go on social media.
And
I didn't
videotape
post
it.
a picture until I felt like it was necessary. And it wasn't like a picture of like him in bed or like him in the casket or
Yep.
like me crying like, "Oh, I miss my grandfather." No offense to Tyrese.
Of course.
Because also coming from someone that has a kid, I know that if someone was taking away my child, I'd probably go crazy too.
Absolutely.
Like my child is everything to me, and how dare you tell me like I don't have a right to this person that I have raised and that I love. And I think also the thing with him is that people are claiming him to be abusive. And so it's hard for you to have this opinion about you out in the world that you feel is false. So you feel like now you have to prove everyone wrong. So I feel like that's where the videos are coming from because he's like, I love my kid and now I have to prove it to everybody.
Got it.
And it's not your job to prove it to everybody. And that's something that you have to deal with and accept. And that's where the mental health comes into play. Like, are you mentally, I don't want to use the word strong,
Stable?
but stable. Yes. Are you stable enough to deal with these things? Or now I'm concerned, like, do you really have real people on your team to help you and take care of you?
Okay, because exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, they can't necessarily stop
Yeah,
everything,
they can't.
but
Yeah, absolutely. You know, or how much do you love yourself? How much respect do you have for yourself for you to put these videos out of yourself like that? It's kind of strange, but you know, we live in a time where we see a lot of strange things on the internet, so nothing really surprises me. But like you said, when we see these people that we look up to doing things that are kind of obscene, it's hard to take, you know, it's hard to swallow because you're like, you know, I looked up to you. You were everything to me. Not everything, but, you know, and now you're like
oh no, he was everything.
a laughing stock.
Like those pictures
I mean,
back
he
in the
is
day,
hot.
you know.
Yeah, but now you're like a laughing stock.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of hard to deal with as people.
So, before we take a break, I did want to say in regards to like celebrities and mental health. So people see the stardom, the like they can fly on private jets and they have this money and they can get all these women or whatever it is that but it's stressful and it's like your life is stressful. Imagine like internet is its own court. They decide what with the memes. And so like if you're not right, if you don't, or if you, even if like you may not have a mental health issue, but like if you don't have a support system to go and take that stuff to be like, I'm stressed, and then you go online, you make these decisions, I think it's important to be prepared. Like you want to be at that, you put yourself there. He put himself there. He wanted to be, he is very talented singing wise and everything else. But yeah, having that support system is important, I think, because the internet will tear you to shreds. And if you're not right up there, it's like if your self-esteem, are you going to say something?
No, I said agreed.
It's tough. But so we're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back.
There's actually a rumor now came out about Russell Simmons raping.
It's gonna get crazy.
On Twitter.
And I think you all understand what I'm saying. Heartbreak. Like, it's some of this stuff is like heartbreaking. It's like, who can I even trust? Like, I feel, and then someone asked me, a coworker in my last job, he was like, would you let your children watch the Cosby Show? Like, when I have children. Down the road, because in like 10, 15 years, it'll still have happened. And it's like,
It will never see TV again.
No,
but like,
I think it will after Bill Cosby dies. They're gonna basically do the same thing what they did to Michael Jackson. You know, they're gonna revamp it. They're gonna kind of
Because
like
it makes money at that point.
exactly. You know what I mean? And it's sad that we gotta go that way.
She's a model, right?
I think the first one. She was on
America's Next Top Model.
and actually she did like in you know those shows that are like addiction groups. Like she went to they had and she did say that she
Oh,
was
with
sexually
MTV.
assaulted
Yeah.
before. This was like years ago.
Oh my god.
And I was like, I can't
Together.
Now, honest question is, did she wait till she hit rock bottom to come out and actually try to catch it back? Or was she did it for,
When you say rock bottom, what do you mean?
you know, no, like, after the, exactly. So did she wait till she hit the rock bottom to actually be like,
I don't think she waited. I think she just
You know,
couldn't take it anymore.
because you know what I mean? That too, but I don't know, you know, I'm trying to see,
But hit the rock bottom.
you know,
Her
because
career, are you saying?
yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, also, like, what was her actual motive? Because, you know what I mean? There's a motive of you coming out and just being like, listen, I just want this to be known. But then you chase some money.
Are you saying, like, was it petty or was it...
Exactly. Like, you know what I mean?
It still happened. He still assaulted her. So what does it matter the time she came out? Even if she did it to secure the bag, it still happened. And she
No, you're
secured the
right.
bag.
You're right. But what was the situation? Because some people would flip it and say, "Oh, he assaulted me," but maybe it was a mutual thing back then. You know what I mean? Like they probably, like for example, in the '80s when there was probably both
Drug
taking
was
drugs.
used, yeah.
You know what I mean? And she probably woke up one day like, "Oh,
I
listen,
regret it.
I regret it." You know?
You know what's
You know what I
interesting?
mean?
A lot of male perspective is
Says that.
It's
Yes.
that. And
it's not their fault.
It's not. It's okay. It's both. It could be both. I didn't want to do this, but because of drugs. But she just came there. I think she was supposed to something or something. But she was saying to get to sleep, she would have to take medication. But that was separate.
That's
The addiction
horrible.
was like probably wrapped up in that, but also her job. You know,
I
traveling
think-
around in different kinds of
No, I think the problem is...
I think it'll still come out. I think it'll still come out.
I think the problem with her was, in order to heal from whatever you're dealing with, I'm sure her addiction was probably separate from the assault, but I'm sure the assault played a big part in her addiction and probably made the addiction worse. I think the point is that,
addiction is covering up.
yes,
Like,
yes.
that's what it-
When you're healing, you have to be honest. You have to live in your truth, and part of living in your truth is saying who it was that assaulted you. We don't know. It could have been more than one person, but just the fact that, you know, like, I think it shows her character really. Like, damn, do I want to ruin Bill Cosby's legacy? Imagine living with that burden.
She got dragged for that.
Exactly my point. And so now she has to live with raped me and I can't talk about it, that's not fair.
And you're getting dragged for being sexually assaulted. People are like, well, Bill Cosby is this. How dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you get assaulted and then speak about Bill Cosby, my dad? Like, Bill Cosby didn't raise any of us.
Well,
Like,
we gotta keep everything in context. He did, like, when they did the court, you know what I mean, thing, he wasn't accused guilty. He was they actually settled.
But then they
So
get money for
then again, that's why my question is, were you looking for the bag, or were you actually doing because you didn't want anybody else to get hurt? You know what I mean?
I think she probably went in trying to.
You know, and I'm not mad at her if she did go for the bag.
She couldn't say he might have had a good enough lawyer.
yeah, but the point is, don't desensitize it. I feel like that is the main issue I always have with it. Like, people are always trying to justify and desensitize
The first
it.
thing that
Well,
is
that's the first thing that comes out somebody's mouth. Well, she was a drug addict.
Yeah.
Well, she was a
No,
stripper.
That's like,
Like,
no, that's like
for
people
me,
saying,
I like
no,
to-
we're still-
I like to, you know, I like to dig in, try to see, you know what I mean? Maybe it
But
was
look, this is what
actually
you sound
cool.
like. Like when a woman gets raped, like, and she's walking and she's, you know, curvaceous or whatever, and she's wearing like booty shorts, and a guy says, well, she shouldn't have been wearing that.
I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that.
That's basically what you're
The thing-
saying.
the
That's
thing
basically
is-
what you're saying right now.
My thing is,
He just
You
said
always
it
have to put,
lied.
everybody always puts their name down.
my thing,
He's so innocent and he means well.
He does.
yo,
Most
He
men-
my
said that
thing,
he agreed with you both all the time, though. He just.
No, he literally said,
my
I
thing
agree
is
with
that
you,
I like
but
to see
which is
both
not a-
sides before I say, oh, this is
Yeah.
what happened.
But
We
we're
weren't
saying
there
both
in
sides
that
of sexual
room.
assault.
We weren't there in
There's
that
only
room.
one side, and that's the truth.
And that's the
truth of
truth.
it is that
Exact-
he's wrong. Period.
Therapy side, you breathe. When someone comes forward with something, you breathe. Well, first of all, your job isn't to decide if it happened or not. It's that this person is hurting.
This is your
This
truth.
is their testimony.
And that they are exactly. So that's just.
And like you said earlier, everybody's eyes is a different world.
Exactly.
So Janice's world is that she was raped. And we should,
And I
we
don't
should
disagree
believe her.
with that. I don't disagree with that.
But you're saying,
But my thing
why did
is,
she come out?
I don't
my
disagree
thing
with
is,
that.
iconic.
listen,
Like, you
this
all have
is
your own.
this is my argument. If she got raped, why didn't she press charges for him to go to
Let me
jail?
tell you about.
You know what I'm
She
saying?
didn't
It
care
wasn't
about it.
enough. The evidence that they had wasn't enough because the time frame of the evidence they had already, it was too far. So all she has is her word at that point.
Yeah, but you see, then again, we flip the story and we're like, you only have your word. You can't just accuse
But
somebody.
maybe she.
Hold
But
on,
even when
hold
they
on.
have all right
Hold
after it
on,
happens, there's
hold
still
on.
not
But
enough
like,
evidence.
flip the story, and if it was Bill Cosby that said she came on to me, we're not gonna believe him. You know what I'm saying? So that's
But
why I
there's no
question
saying that we wouldn't
everything.
believe him. If he came out and said that, I understand
But
what you're
he's-
saying because of the way society like empathizes with women. I can understand what you're saying. Society does empathize with women, and it is true. Like when women come forward and say, "Oh, this person, blah blah blah," people are gonna believe the woman, especially with somebody like Bill Cosby, or somebody that has power or money. That is true.
A black
But
man.
we can't automatically be like, "But," when somebody comes forward. If it was Bill Cosby, I'm not saying, but I'm saying that is his testimony. This is his truth. He says that this woman touched him, and it's not okay. We're not gonna desensitize and justify until
But
proven
he hasn't
otherwise.
said it.
Yeah, but he was never proven otherwise.
But also that's not.
You know what I'm saying? So
What evidence?
Sexual assault, it obviously you can understand how hard it is to come
Yeah,
anyway,
I understand that.
whatever. So like a lot of times people do hold it and they just bury it and that's it. And then
And it
there's a
kills-
rape
and it
kit
can
and
kill
there's
you.
no lockup and that's it because once the evidence is I watched too much of one article. Alright, let me get you guys out of here so I can do my I know I need to let me get moving. So the last
I heard pizza. Somebody said pizza. I'm hungry.
oh, so the last piece is just what you guys are going to be doing in 2 weeks. One of them actually is the read, but I'll listen.
Spicy.
So, All right, and we're back. So I'm here with Spark Up PVD, and I was talking to them kind of just about how they balance all their personalities and, what they like about their show, what's difficult about balancing different personalities on one show, and just making sure that you still. That you guys have been going for a while now, like a weekly or somewhat of a weekly show. Like
Yeah.
that's a big thing. I mean, I don't get along with my coworkers, but I have to be with them. So I'm like, well, so that's awesome. So I guess, I wanted to find out what's coming up for you all in 2018. Like,
We working
of course.
really hard.
Yup.
I'm trying to interview Diddy.
Yeah.
Who is now Brother Love, but retracted that, so now he's back to being Diddy.
Okay.
But if it's in my power, you know what I mean, I would like to interview people at that stature.
Got it.
Just high hopes. But for 2018, we are
It was
gonna
that
go
sense of
hard.
wonder,
We're gonna-
Ruben.
He's like, I didn't stutter.
You see
so.
the wagon to the moon. This is what I be talking about
But
right
you know what I
here.
mean? Realistically, I would like to interview anybody that's, trying to do work for the culture or doing
it.
something for people. And I would like to dive into more mental health and
Okay.
more, social issues where we can have a conversation and get to one or maybe more understandings.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I like because you guys are expanding. Like I think you started with artists more so, but now you're doing like different types of people, not just artists,
Yes.
which is awesome. Cool.
I want us to start Spark Up TV.
Mm-hmm.
I am calling
Hey.
it and I am claiming it.
Ooh,
So
nice.
I would like us to have an actual like growing YouTube channel, and
Okay.
it's so interesting. And I'm gonna, say shout out to Roundtable right now
Okay.
because Roundtable Entertainment. Let me not be acting new.
Yeah. Because they will listen.
Okay,
Be like,
so
yep.
shout out to Roundtable because they're very well rounded. I think if we were gonna sculpt our brand around anyone that we know personally and locally, it would be
Okay.
Roundtable because
Okay.
they have the clothing line,
Ooh.
they have their radio show, and then they have their YouTube channel and events, and they do a lot in Providence, and they've been going for as long as I was a freshman in college. So I definitely want us to do Spark Up TV, and I just want that to be like, obviously our episodes can be on YouTube, but us like really putting out content so people can
Exactly.
really get to know us. Like people
Engage,
listen
like,
to us, yeah, and
getting an
engage with us.
engagement,
Like
there's a different
social media is so big and marketing is so big.
Yeah.
Like you can't be a business
YouTube
or a
is
brand
huge.
and not have content or
Yes.
not be on social media. So
Yeah.
I really want us to push our marketing and advertising. Like
Yeah.
that's what I want to see grow in 2018 for us. Because I know as a podcast we'll do well no matter what happens. We'll be consistent.
Yeah.
But we need to expand
Yep.
more
Expand our
horizontally
horizons.
What do they
in
call
order
it?
to go vertical.
I think Gary Vee says niche
I
down.
love Gary
I don't know
Vee.
how he does it. I love
I
him too.
love
Yeah,
him.
I do. I really, really do.
You would, Ruben.
No, he's
Hilarious.
a genius.
That sense of
within
wonder.
himself.
Let it
Like,
come
it's
through.
crazy.
Yes, Lord. Let it come through, Ruben.
Mhm.
Sense of wonder.
Yep,
Yes. Praise God. I love it.
But yeah, Christina.
And I think one thing we've talked about, or I would say I talked about that I really want to bring to life is a live show. Not weekly, but like maybe once a month or bi-monthly. A time where we can sit down with people who are listening to us and see us in real life and put the faces to the names and the voices and engage with us in live and also bring a different environment. I don't think anybody's done that. I don't I don't want to speak too soon, but
yeah,
just bringing, like I spoke about it earlier, we were at a meeting, bringing the Wendy Williams energy, not her, but like her crowd.
Love
Like when the
her.
show
Yeah,
starts,
yeah.
everybody's like ooh, ooh, like everybody's just like
okay,
excited
okay.
to be there.
Yeah, true.
And I think that it's important to step out of this, step from behind the camera and actually meet people and
Yeah.
shake hands and like or hug people and like just tell people thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming, and look them in the face and kiss babies on the foreheads. Give the Obama kisses out.
Obama. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that when people see us and notice how genuine we are, they'll do the marketing for us.
Agreed.
Like, hey, these people are really dope. Like I just came from their live show and it was different. Like I want to do a lot of the same things that everybody is doing, but I also want us to remember that, we have to be set apart. And like, I think for myself especially, it's been hard to deal with, like, well, they're doing this and they're doing that and we're not doing that, but we're not them.
Exactly.
So that's something that I have to accept. And so it's something that I also am learning to embrace, that we are different. So yeah, so live shows and more guests, different guests, like you mentioned. I don't think our focus has been, we've never said, okay, we're only doing artists, but it's just been something that's just fallen into place, people reaching out to us, people that want to be on our show, and who are we to turn people down that want to be on the show? But also, we're looking at, okay, is your content valuable? Are you serious about your craft? So yeah, just people that are doing amazing things, whether it's music. We had a chef on the show. We do have a surprise guest coming up in December. I don't want to leak it, but it rhymes with schmonuts, aka
Let me write that down.
aka
Wait.
aka donuts.
Okay,
so
okay.
yeah, that's a hint.
Good.
A really big hint.
That is. That's huge.
So yeah, so just work up. No offense to the people that we've interviewed. We love them.
Yeah.
And we genuinely respect them
You
and
have
what
to keep
they do.
building.
But, work up. The Loopy the blogger on Instagram, people that have already that following that we can sit down and talk to, and that they can respect us, and we show them that we have respect for them. And just grow. Have a growing following, and just did I say it correctly? But yeah, just have people really see us, be in their face, like we're here.
Yep.
And we're here to stay, like, and just be able to look back and say, we did this year. Wow, that's amazing. Instead of going back like, okay, we did the same thing we did last year. So just gearing up and leveling up.
I'm glad you clarified about guests. And for people that aren't familiar with podcasting, like there is money that if you're paying people to work on the podcast or you're paying for studio time, like if it's a business, it's costing money. So it's like you have to, if it's not a hobby, for some people it is a hobby. But if it's not a hobby and it's a business, we have to pick guests. Like it's a fine line. Like you have to balance. You're like,
sense.
I'm interested in this person, but you have to think of things like following, and is this person going to share are they so high up that they don't have time to share it? And then it's like, okay, did I really get like downloads from them?
Because what's the trade-off?
Exactly.
It sounds horrible,
but people
but
do get
seriously.
offended. Yeah. But it's a business. If you walked into like, a store, it's the same thing. So people will be like, I know some people have been in my feelings. I'm like, but you don't align with my, like, you just want to get time on the radio. Like, you don't really care about my mission. Exactly.
And you, like, for example, you can't just come on a show just to promote yourself neither.
Exactly.
You gotta, it's a mutual thing, half and
Definitely.
half. Like, you promote me, I promote you, and we work together.
Exactly.
Not just come on the air and, expect the whole following to follow you and then just kind of like take it as oh, thank you, I'm not promoting you. Like, it's wrong. You gotta, it's a mutual thing.
And that's, you're going to say.
Oh, no, I was going to say, like, to jump off of that, because it just came to my mind, Issa Rae, who I love, and I'm sure we all love.
Yes.
She was talking about, I don't even remember what interview, but I remember watching an interview with her on YouTube, and she was talking about, like, basically working horizontal. And, they asked her what that meant. She was like, a lot of the time people want to be at the bottom and then just jump to the top. And she was like, but instead, if I'm a writer and I know that my friends wants to be an actress, why, instead of like trying to find all these actors, why don't I work with my friend? If my friend owns a clothing line, why don't I ask them to sponsor the show that we're about to do and work that way? Work horizontal, so that way everyone that's trying to come up, we are working together and we're bringing each other up together. Like, we might not all get there, but if we're linked arms and we can rise together, instead of all of us trying to basically do the same thing and rush to the top, like, so I just thought that was interesting that she said that, because she was like, I was a struggling writer, I didn't have anything. I was like asking my friends, asking the guy at the meat market, like, people that I knew that supported me. And that's how, I came up. And now she's Issa Rae. Everybody knows her. I mean, when she
Yep.
first started Awkward Black Girl, like, nobody cared
No
about
one
her
cared,
like
yeah.
that, and now everybody's watching her show and it's on HBO. I mean,
And she's getting hosting. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
she's doing the
set.
damn
she's
thing.
breaking it up right now.
And the same people, like the same actors and actresses that were in Awkward Black Girl that was literally just on YouTube and had like only such a few views, they were all in Insecure. Like I remember seeing them like, oh my gosh, I remember her. That was her best friend from when
Okay.
like it was on the YouTube series. Like she brought all those same actors and actresses
Okay.
back in like with her to HBO. Like I was like, that's so dope. Like
That's
Build that circle.
authentic. That's a real, yeah.
I'm like seeing faces like, oh my god, like not all of them, but there were like some people that I definitely remember, and I was like, that's dope. Like you see, like that's nice that it's not nice that she did that for them. Like those are people that rode with her, and
Yeah.
she felt an obligation. Like
Yeah.
Everything
you have
works
to be
in a-
here.
in
Yes.
a circle. Like, you know what I mean? You help me out, I help you out when I get there. You know what I mean? Or if you get there, you help me out. We help each other out, and things just work out so much better.
Definitely, and that's hard. I think, Providence in some ways has struggles with that. It is this like, but there are people like that are willing to collaborate. But you would think like it makes sense if there's 10 people that are sharing my stuff, like even down to social media versus me just trying to do it alone and like trying to knock off all the competition. Like, I don't know.
Providence can be kind of
Gets to be-
sensitive sometimes.
yeah.
Providence gets in his feelings.
And my advice to everybody in Providence or anywhere that they got the crab in a barrel mentality is the sun shines for everybody, so you're gonna get light regardless. Don't block somebody else's light.
True.
Just keep it moving, do your thing,
Just grow.
and help each other. You know what I mean?
And there's people, and the beautiful thing about online and radio is there's people all over the world. Like it's not you
Right.
don't like it's good to work with people in your city, but like there's people there's other people around the world that are willing to help. Like especially in podcasting, people are like, "Oh, you need this app? Do you need this? This is how you're gonna do this. This is good for promotion and whatever." And it's just like you'll find them. Just keep searching. But I think Ruben cut. I mean,
He
cut
did.
Regina
This
off,
is
but
what
it's
always
okay.
happens. He lies about agreeing with us. He cuts me off when I'm talking.
know, you
You only hear me talking for all of 30
Exactly.
seconds most of the time. Because
Exactly.
I'm being cut off. So there's that.
And for people that on our break, Ruben was on the opposition of Cristina and Regina, so he did
Per
lie, and
usual.
we already knew. Yeah, exactly. And
Oh,
so
God.
But you see what we
I'm
did
a
there?
snitch.
We're like going mad hard at each other, like, no.
Exactly.
And then he's like, so pizza? And then we're like, yeah, I mean, like, I could like grab a slice. This is what we do.
It's like siblings.
Yep.
You know what I
No,
mean?
literally.
that's good. So to wrap up our show, I've been doing like a little game with all of my guests. Because you all are podcasters, I'm going to list a few podcast names, and I want you to let me know by the name if you would listen to it.
Okay.
Okay. So we have WTF with Mark Maron or Yeah Dude. If you've never listened to it, I haven't.
I've
Which
never
one?
heard of them, but I think the WTF calls my attention more. Like it's like maybe it's all about ranting.
It must be.
I never heard of it, so you know what I mean.
And Rubanz
me
loves a good
neither.
rant.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. He is right. So the next one is the Nerdist or Risk! Exclamation mark.
Ooh, I probably wouldn't just because it's a question and it's like I don't even know what you're asking. I never heard of the word nerdist. Now I have to Google it. It's mad
True.
work.
True.
I think title plays a big part.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So if it's too much of a mouthful or I don't know what it is, I probably won't click on it.
Yeah, there'll be too much to figure out. All right, Regina, the last one. This will be easy. Call your girlfriend or the read.
I guess I would say call your girlfriend because I've listened to the read. And
Okay,
I know
true.
I love it.
Okay.
But that sounds interesting.
Call your girlfriend. I know.
right?
I'm like,
Even if I heard them, if I never listened to the read, I probably would have picked Call Your Girlfriend. Because,
Yeah.
the read just sounds like that could be a book club.
Yeah. I would think the read, like this person's reading people. The whole time.
Right.
And that's what it is, right? The
Yes.
read. Okay. I have to check that out for sure.
I think you would like it.
I know. I'm going to. So thank you all for taking time out of your schedule and coming on my show.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. And so just let people know how they can get in contact if they want to be a guest or they want to collab with you all?
They can pretty much reach out to our personal Instagram if they find us on our social media, or our Gmail is sparkuppodcast@gmail.com, or on Instagram, on Facebook. You know, we're not
We're on
bougie
Twitter.
people. You know,
We're
you can
everywhere.
just come in or slide in our DMs and
Yep.
Don't slide in my
Become
DMs.
correct.
Slide in their
Regina's
DMs. Do
like-
not slide in my DMs because I will tell you where to go.
My at is
Yep.
FLACITA 91. It's really said flacita, but it means to say flaquita, which is like the skinny little girl
Okay.
in Spanish. I need to change that. I feel like I grew out of
You've
that.
been saying that
name,
for a while.
but I can't think of anything else. Yeah, and then Rubanz.
The real Rubanz PVD. That's on Twitter and Instagram. You can reach me. I'm very accessible. I'm willing to talk to anybody. So
About anything.
hit your boy up. You need some,
Oh,
you
here we
know,
go.
encouragement. You need
Here we
some
go.
something, whatever. You know what I mean? You want to talk to somebody? I'm here to listen.
Okay.
Rubanz is actually a fantastic person to talk
Yeah,
to.
to talk to. Yeah. He's great. You're great at listening.
Yeah, and one of the things we want to do for 2018 is put our podcast on different platforms. So we're gonna try to get it on Tidal, on Spotify,
Nice.
and TuneIn Radio.
There's iHeartRadio too.
There's a
that's a
whole bunch that are
Good.
available for free, but we are available on iTunes, Google Play, and SoundCloud as of right now. SoundCloud.com/SparkUpPVD.
Nice. Regina Miss,
I'm
don't
on
slide in my DMs,
Yeah,
acting
don't
crazy.
slide in my DMs at all. Slide in their DMs. I'm not going to be responsive, but you can find me at ReginaSarah_ on Instagram and AO_DAG on Twitter. And there's a story behind that. I'm not going to tell it.
Yeah.
If you slide in my DMs appropriately, I'll tell you the story. It's a page turner. So there's that.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks again for coming. And that concludes another exciting episode of The Business of Soul Searching. If the content discussed in this podcast interests you, please contact me at thebusinessofsoulsearching@gmail.com. Also, make sure you subscribe. And most importantly, take a calculated risk this week. Don't do it for me, do it for you.